Sadly, they didn't all make it though. That was back in those days. Our firstborn, Thomas, he was born a year after we were wed. But he sadly died at 8 months old. Our second, John, named after his daddy and his daddy, he died at 24 of yellow fever out at sea. They sent his buttons back though. Our third, Thomas, after his late brother, he was born in 1881.
1831, wasn't it?
1831.
We was right proud of Thomas, we was. We was proud of all of our children. They was all remarkable young people. However, Thomas, he went to sea and he became a master of the ship Ellen Sophia. Now, he had 3 fine sons himself. One of them, when he grew up, became the town crier of the town of Ilfracombe, and his name was Thomas Davie. Now, sadly, our son Thomas, he died when he was just 33 years old, also of yellow fever, like his younger brother John. He left behind his wife Mary Ann, who never really recovered. After that, in 1833, our twins was born, Martha and Mary. Now, they was a handful, they were. We were generally having children every 1 or 2 years for quite some time. However, when Mary and Martha came along, it took it out of you somewhat, didn't it? And it was about 3 or 4 years before the next one. When they grew up, however, they was a big help to you in the laundry, weren't they?
They were. I ran a laundry, I did, for about 10 years. The girls helped me, Martha and Mary, the twins. They worked their way. And then Ellen and Grace, when they came along. And then my granddaughter, she helped me too, Henrietta. It was a profitable business, wasn't it? We did well, didn't we?
It was. Well. Now, the laundry was up in the chapel. I was the lighthouse keeper of the chapel. And we're talking about St. Nicholas Chapel, which is down on the hill by the harbour. I think the hill is now known as Lantern Hill. Now, I was right proud to be made the lighthouse keeper there, because I understand now it is England's oldest working lighthouse. Absolutely. Now, it hasn't always been as it is now. Originally, in the Middle Ages, it was a Roman Catholic chapel. And then when Henry VIII came along and destroyed all the monasteries in the dissolution, isn't it? When he did that, it no longer was desecrated as a chapel, but the sailors would often go up there for a blessing before they went to sea, even after those times when it was no longer a chapel. And often also found out that when we was looking around, that there was bones and buttons that we found in the grounds around the chapel, always on the seaward side of the chapel, where sailors had been buried there in the 300 or 400 years after that.
I was always proud of Bill John's achievement. Though on a laundry day, he did not get under my feet in there.
Well, I try not to get on. There's only so much you can do, really, when you're a lighthouse keeper, you know, sort of keep a light out and that. So, you know, I try to help her out in the laundry. But anyhow, before I was a lighthouse keeper, I was a mariner. I was a fisherman to start with, and we lived in Water Street, which is down near the harbour. There, I believe, but we had 8 children at that moment when we was in Water Street, and then we moved up to the chapel in 1850, and in 1850 we had 11 children up in that chapel, and it's not very big up there, as you know, and it got mighty cold in the winter. All the children had their snisms. It was hard work, wasn't it? Now, the other thing that we found out was before we took over the chapel, in 1837, the lord of the manor around here, who was the Earl of Bath, he decided that it should be a reading room for ladies and gentlemen of the town, and the gentlemen would go up into the chapel and they would read their newspapers, and the ladies would compile a scrapbook, which was very fashionable at the time, so we're led to believe. Yes. Yeah. You were going to talk about our Elizabeth, weren't you?
Elizabeth. We have a daughter called Elizabeth. We are so proud. She married a proper gentleman, didn't she? She did proper good for herself. His name was John Bailey, and he was the master and owner of a well-known schooner
He did, yes. Now, one other thing you might want to know about the chapel was that originally it had an oil lantern up in the tower there, but in the year of Queen Victoria's coronation, 1837, wasn't it? They changed it over to a gas lantern, which was a very good thing because we found that there was complaints made that the lights of the houses around town were brighter than the lighthouse itself. So after the gas lantern, then that made a big difference. That was an awful lot better, wasn't it? Now, two of our children, two of our offspring really, did go and live in America. One of our daughters went out with her husband whose name was George Klopp, which is a very strange name, but he was a strange man. And then our granddaughter, Henrietta, who used to help you in the laundry, she went off to America, didn't she? Yeah. 5 of our children unfortunately died before we did. We've mentioned Thomas and John and Thomas, but there was also George, young Samuel, and poor Gracie. And it was very sad for Gracie, as we say, because she died in the same year she was married, which was a tragedy.
Our last, Matilda, was born in 1849. There was a notice in the paper. It said in the North Devon Gazette, 2 of our children have died and 2 have gone to sea, and around this table 10 olive branches sit, with indefinite prospects.
It's hard to remember, isn't it? It is hard. Now.
Anyway, she was our last.
Now, I went before Elizabeth, didn't I?
John died in 1870, at the age of 71. I kept the lighthouse for a year and did the laundry until the building work on the quay started. With that, I moved down to 1 Strand, where I stayed till I died.
She died at the age of 82 years old. And at her funeral it was said that she was an affectionate mother, a loyal friend, and would always support those in need. And I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, that I couldn't have wished for a finer wife. Thank you very much.